Joanne Coziel. I'm the Strategic Clinical Lead for Fife Employment Access Trust, and we offer employability services for people with mental health conditions. Is the Employ Your Mind project. This has been running about 11 years. So Employ Your Mind was designed as a self-development program over a 6-month period. Yes, we had to stop for a while. Employ Your Mind's very group-based. It relies on a lot of social interaction. That was really difficult when COVID came along. The premise of Silverburn Park is to make it a park for well-being within the Leven area. So just as COVID happened, actually, just sort of around the lockdown time, we got funding for a Grow Your Mind project. And this is basically taking the Employ Your Mind framework and using outside space and bringing in conservation and environmental consideration into what we're doing. We've had to make the group smaller than we had anticipated to enable the social distancing. We have risk assessed it to the hilt. So we put a lot of time into the risk assessment and the thought around what we would do in different situations. If you were doing it inside, normally we would do it and people would be sat right next to each other in a circle, say. If you move that circle 2 meters apart, if everyone's 2 meters apart, you're sort of like waving across the room at each other or shouting, you know, it makes a huge difference. But if you're in the sensory garden, say at Silverburn Park, if you're 2 meters distance, that's natural. The way Employ Your Mind works, it's very, I suppose it's a bit like classroom-based work. So we have a PowerPoint, we have flip charts, and we do like group activities. When you're outside, you may not have a flip chart and a PowerPoint. So what else can we use? And we've come up with ideas like using the beach, so using sand to write things and draw things, taking lots of pictures to record things. So instead of writing things down on paper, can we write them in the soil? Can we use pebbles to write things down and take pictures to record that? We've got a huge army tent. Okay, so we can have a 2-sided or a 3-sided tent, so it's still open and we can still do some of the classroom activities, but it's still outside. Whilst they're doing the activities within Silverburn Park, whether that's chopping down trees that need to be pruned, or you can tell I'm not a gardener. If trees need to be pruned, if plants need planting, if soil needs dug over, there's always a thinking process within that. It's just a different activity that you use outside. So it is quite easy to translate the actual therapy, if you were, into the facilitation of the group into the outdoor space. Phoenix Futures, who are working at Silverburn Park already, not long started group work with young people, started a bit further, and they've done a really comprehensive risk assessment, which they let us have a look at. And it was really, really easy to adapt that for what we need. So that was really, really helpful. Employ Your Mind is partnered with the NHS, for example. So we get a lot of support in regard to sort of the medical aspects of mental health, I suppose, and getting access to support if we need it. The other thing, there's more practical things that we've had to think about. So things like shoes, getting sturdy shoes for people, outdoor clothing, gloves, you know, I suppose face masks and things. Yes, I mean, there's lots of evidence, isn't there, about engaging with the outdoors is really good for your mental well-being. There's also the physical fitness side of things as well. That's obviously a benefit because you're active. For the Grow Your Mind, we're basing the phases around the 5 ways to well-being as well. So that includes being active and connecting with others. Yeah, I would say think about the practicalities. So I suppose first have a look at what you can do outside really easily, because there's lots that you can do outside that you can do inside. What do you do if it's raining? Is it okay to continue in the rain, or would you have to think of something else? I'd say keep your mind open, be open and experiment.